Good morning, kids. I have a special surprise for you today. I'm on the beach in Bandon, Oregon, where my family has been coming since my wife was a young girl. Every once in a while down here, there's something called a king tide, which is an unusually low tide, so you can go way out. The water goes way away. And then some people come in and they draw in the sand. They make all kinds of really interesting designs. They're called Circles in the Sand is the organization, and they make these. They're labyrinths. Now, a labyrinth is an ancient practice of walking in a certain different directions in order to try to open yourself up to life, to God, to yourself more. And they draw these beautiful circles in the sand, this labyrinth, and they invite the whole community to come and walk it. To me, what's happening on this beach is kind of a metaphor for our lives, especially when our lives get a little bit turned upside down, when the things that are usually close to us and we're familiar with seem very far, kind of like the tide going way, 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 way out. When those things in our life that we're familiar with, they go away, it feels like it leaves like our life empty. But really, when things go away, oftentimes, if you're looking, there's a new space to do new things. That's what I love about Circles in the Sand. They take a whole lot of empty space and they do something creative with it. They make designs in the sand. They allow people to walk and pray and get closer to God and themselves in the sand. Notice how they've decorated different objects too. You and I like to do, especially when times in these kind of empty periods in life, I like to keep a gratitude journal. I write down everything I could possibly be thankful for in the last 24 hours of my life. So I start in the morning and I think about yesterday morning, and I think about every single thing I'm thankful for, and I write it down. And what I've found is even on the saddest days of my life, I can still fill up an entire page full of things I'm thankful for. In a way, my gratitude journal works like this labyrinth. I'm walking through all this empty space, but trying to find something creative in it. And when I find something that I'm truly thankful for, maybe it's my wife or my own children or my church or my friends, I like to then pause and think about that and think about what is it I like about these people, or what is it I liked about my breakfast even. How thankful am I for the granola and the cherries I put on top and where the granola even came from. I think about the fields that produce the oats and the trees that produce the cherries and the people who harvested the cherries. I'm thankful for all of those people. It's kind of like taking something and drawing a little design in the sand like they've done here. But I do it in my mind. And by the time I've spent several minutes just thinking about the last 24 hours of my life, it's kind of like I've walked an internal labyrinth. Noting those things in my emptiness, noticing that my life really isn't so empty after all, but rather that God's blessings come to us constantly. The Apostle Paul says that there's nothing that can separate us from the love of God, nothing at all. And it's times when my life gets a bit empty and I pull out that gratitude journal and start to write down my blessings, that I'm reminded that surely God is present. Surely there are many blessings to be found even on the hardest days. So maybe you'll start a gratitude journal today. Join me. I do that every day, either on paper or at least in my mind. Just think about the last 24 hours, what you have to be thankful for. Write them down and go on your own inner journey. I'll be right there with you, doing mine.